Another glorious summer afternoon. WDUN Sports Talk on WDUN TV. In the house, I'm Judd Hickenbotham. Morgan Lee, he is sports editor for AccessNorthGA.com. He is working hard when no one else is working hard. No other high school players working hard this week.
No.
We know that much.
I was about to say, so are you saying that everybody else is not working this week? Cause,
pretty much, yes. That's what I'm saying, which is no different from any other time.
No.
All right, we got a lot of stuff to get through. Here's our guarantee today. We will not discuss any story that involves a courtroom. I am tired. I am so tired of courtroom stories. My head's about to explode. The one in Florida, which we won't even name. Roger Clemens, I don't even know why this is a story. I have no idea. And loosely in a courtroom, NFL, NBA lockout, I don't care. I'm sorry. I really don't. I'm so desensitized to lockout talk, it doesn't even matter.
There's nothing to report. And, after you've had 100-plus days of a lockout, when there's nothing to report, it's like, do I need another update of, they're talking?
Yeah, exactly. It's just kind of, it's just ridiculous. It's almost like after a season is over, you expect, some bickering on both sides and that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's just, like I said, I've gotten to the point where, unless there's actual news other than just, this side's talking to this side, and, they may need to get it done this week because the Hall of Fame game's coming up, and they might not. It's like, dude, just come back when there's actual hard evidence of something.
Exactly. I will say one good thing has come out from the NFL lockout. Field of Dreams 2. Have you seen this?
I have not watched it, but I read the story about it yesterday when I posted it.
It's very funny. There's a site called funnyordie.com, I guess what it is. But it's clean. It's fine. It's just it's like a 3-minute movie trailer basically of Field of Dreams 2, and it has to do with the NFL lockout.
Kind of a parody.
Yes. Yeah. And for the ladies, Tony Gonzalez is in there, so there you go. All right, we do have a lot of things to get to today. We won't talk courtroom dramas, but we will talk Gene Chizik, just because I want to see Morgan's face get all red and sweaty, and so he can start screaming about the Auburn War Eagle Tiger people.
Plainsman,
yes, but we will start. Also, we're going to talk some baseball as well, because it is the Midsummer Classic coming up next week, and the Atlanta Braves have a very big series coming up this weekend against the Phillies, and the Gwinnett Braves are playing some dang good baseball. There's some dang good baseball being played around this area in general. But let's start with high school sports. This is Dead Week, and Morgan is now going to tell you what that means.
This is the 1 week of the entire year where no one is allowed to do anything organized, basically. So nobody's in a gym lifting weights. Nobody's doing any sort of team drills. No one's doing any 7-on-7s. This is the 1 week that you can bet that everybody in the state of Georgia is on vacation, or that can be anyway, at the beach trying to relax because the GHSA mandates, this is your 1 week off.
Yeah.
So I guess everyone's going to hopefully enjoy it.
Now, it doesn't mean like, some running back on some high school team can go work out if they want to. They just can't do it at the school, or what?
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, it can't be organized by the school. So I mean, he's not going to be he can't be at his school gym. That doesn't mean he can't be,
right,
down the hill here at the local gym working out. Doesn't mean he can't be running laps or something. Just means he can't be doing anything with any other teammates that's been organized. It means that he can't be going to any sort of camps or anything like that.
You're a high school kid. Just do nothing for a week,
I think they
hang out at the pool.
I think they can handle that.
Yeah, have a pizza eating contest. Whatever the kids do these days. Listen to Nelly. I don't know.
Yeah, just know that you're probably going to get just drilled when you come back next week if you do start eating a bunch of pizzas. So
yeah, that's a good point.
Them.
All right, just have a couple pieces of pizza. You're a high school student. Have like 5 Big Macs, man. All right, but it doesn't mean we can't not talk about high school sports. So. Let's just talk a little bit, and we'll just kind of graze the surface as far as this is concerned, because we got a little bit of time to talk about high school football. But you've kind of compiled a list here of maybe your picks, the early season kind of picks, kind of like a mock draft kind of thing, a year out before there's some draft. But no, let's start with Class A, because there are some local teams. There should be some pretty good football. Let's start with 8A. Who do you like?
Just going on history, going on what's happened the past couple seasons. I think you'd be crazy not to say Athens Academy at this point, just because of the tradition that they have there. Obviously they're not really in our coverage area, but just because of what they do I think that Athens Academy year in, year out, you've got to say is one of the favorites. Now, this doesn't mean I think that they're going to win the region. I'm just saying the teams I'm going to say here are the teams I think that are in contention.
Right.
So Athens Academy, I think George Walton came in and showed some things last year. Athens Christian certainly impressed, as did Prince Avenue. I think locally here, the teams that we've got, Commerce and Riverside and Lakeview. Of course, Lakeview's playing a non-region schedule. Lakeview's coming off its best ever season. I mean,
right.
4-4 last year. It was pretty impressive for such a tiny little program. I think that Commerce is going to be interesting. They got a new coach in Marvin Justice, and it's going to be the first time in 22 years Steve Savage hasn't been walking the sidelines. So.
You go from Savage to Justice.
Yes,
I like it.
You like
All
it.
right, yes.
You like it. And then obviously Riverside, they're always going to be well coached, but unfortunately with them, they never know what they're going to have until school kicks back in.
Yeah,
in
Riverside's
August.
always a wild card, right?
Yeah, they could have some great players. They could have a bunch of players leave and just not come back because of the nature of that school, because it's a boarding school. And because it's a boarding school that draws people from around the globe, really. Mm-hmm. So they may have 2 or 3 kids that just come in from nowhere and are great players. They may lose all the best players they had from last season. It's unfortunate, but it's what they deal with.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, if you're watching this, don't get mad. If we don't mention your team, we got a lot of times to talk about this. Don't send sharp emails. Morgan Lee, why do you hate us? That kind of thing.
You can go ahead and do it. I don't care. Whatever.
Actually, that's fine if you want to do that. All right, let's go to Double A. There's a team down in Buford that is not too bad. That might have a chance. I'm not sure. The Buford Dogs it's a Wolves. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. You may have heard of them.
Right.
Fourth straight state championship last year. Tied a record. Will they break that record this year? That as they hold with a school that's not even around anymore in West Rome. The odds are pretty good that they will. I know Buford's coaches would hate to have anybody talking about that at this point. But
have they lost too many guys from last year's team? They
lost a handful of good players. Including a running back and Sion Jones, and I don't. What they lost though is not nearly as impressive of what they have coming back. I mean, they've got, I think, legitimately double-digit college players coming back on that team, and probably 5 or 6 serious Division I players. Mm-hmm. They are going to be loaded for bear, so to speak, this year, and I don't. You never know, but certainly I think you'd be foolish not to pick Buford to be at least back in the Dome.
Yeah, other teams out there that local teams that are looking to have good seasons because Double A has been some pretty good action the last few years.
Yeah, I think it's one of the more competitive divisions in GHSA, certainly.
And bringing East Hall back into it, bringing them last year. I mean, that kind of helps too.
Yeah, I think East Hall losing two Division I players, everybody's going to be like, well, they're probably not going to be as good, but I think they may actually be a little better because overall they're going to have a lot better line play this year, I believe. They're always going to have a few good athletes, so it's just going to be interesting to see where all that fits in. But I think the big thing for them has been trying to produce linemen and big guys, and that seems to be something that's starting to pay off for them.
Yeah.
Looking around, I think Jefferson's going to be better this year with a junior coming back at quarterback and Bryant Sheriffs.
They kind of took a step back last year.
Yeah,
after
they had a tough time.
They
had a tough time. I mean, I think a lot of it was because of the region they were in, which is still going to be a tough region with Elbert and Hart County and North Oconee. All 3 of those teams should be good again this year, and they're in their sub-region. So it's not even like they don't even. Last year, I didn't even have a chance to play one of those teams for a region title. Because they just couldn't beat out those 3 teams within the sub-region.
Yeah, exactly.
So AAA I think is one of the best regions in the state in AA.
Okay. And so North Oconee is another team that might be able to do some stuff.
Yeah, I would definitely put them amongst the favorites right now. They get some serious some big time college prospects on that team. So it's kind of. Who knows how it's going to go, as I said, because it's so competitive. Mm-hmm. But certainly they're going to be, North Oconee, going to be amongst the teams vying for the title there.
In the business, we call this a tease. That's A and Double A. We're going to give you Triple A and Quad A next week. What do you say?
Sure.
You want to wait on it? You want to sit on it?
I don't care. I can sit on it.
Yeah, we got some time to do that. So there you go. So That's just an early idea. Of course, Morgan's going to go out there to every single practice for every single team. He'll know exactly what's going on with these teams.
Yes, I've got my schedule.
Exactly. So, Gainesville North Hall fans, Flowery Branch fans, all you guys, wait till next week. We'll be talking about AAA and 4A as well. All right, we're going to take a break, come back. We're going to talk a little college football as well. The name Chiswick will be thrown around. You don't have to move the kids out of the room for this either. Right back. WDUN Sports Talk and WDUN TV.
At the offices of Dr. Norman Peets, DDS on Green Street in Gainesville, patients have all their general dentistry needs explained. Ask about sedation dentistry. Dr. Peets' team of professionals puts you at ease. Dedicated, experienced, professional. He's Gainesville's family dentist. Dr. Norman Peets, 615 Green Street in Gainesville.
I will not march blindly into the fluorescent light of Monday morning to a job I do not love. I will not go with the flow. I am not a carbon copy. I will visit this website before tomorrow because I refuse to work for the weekend, even if everyone is working for the weekend. Today, I will find a job that I love. Today, I will find my career happiness.
It's early July, but it doesn't mean you can't talk football. WDUN Sports Talk rolling on. Judd Ickenbotham, Morgan Lee, the birthday boy, Scott McIntyre as well. There he is.
Big 2-7.
Yes, sir. The big old 2-7. You remember 27?
I do.
It's back when my back didn't hurt.
6 years ago, man.
Yeah, me too. I used to get compliments about my hair, I think, back then. That stopped. No, 27 is a great year, so enjoy it, Scott. Yeah, well, that's true. Okay, Scott's not going to get too many comments about his hair.
Yeah.
Sorry, Scott. All right, getting back to it. We talked a little high school football. Next week, we'll be talking about some of the teams to watch in AAA and Quad A around these parts because it really is. It's been great football up here. I put this area up against anybody as far as high school competition's concerned.
Absolutely.
All right, we got some college football to get to. I guess there's a little bit of stuff going on. First, I want to get your opinion about Alabama, Virginia Tech. I guess they signed the deal. They're going to be in the Chick-fil-A kickoff game in 2013. Does that blow your skirt up at all? Is that exciting to you in the least?
Not really.
Me neither, and I don't know why. It should be a good matchup.
I tell you why. Is it frankly, you give Alabama an entire offseason to prepare for a team.
Yeah,
it's probably going to be ugly like it was last time.
That's a very good point.
You know, I just. You're talking about basically the most, I would say, probably the most professional coaching staff, and I don't mean that by that they're doing anything untoward.
Right.
I just mean that they're, I don't like Nick Saban necessarily as a person, but you know when you've got Nick Saban that there is probably nothing that he will not do to win.
Right. I think he's the best football coach in college football. Is that fair to say? It's tough to argue against it.
Yeah, I think that there's probably a case to be made for a couple other guys, but I don't think that you could say anybody's better than Nick Saban. That's for sure.
Okay, so say Alabama's in the game. Can you think of a team that you would love to see come here and get out of the Southeast? I mean, I would love to see a team from somewhere else, whether it's Big 12 or now the Pac-12.
Sure.
Because I think that's going to be the other super conference, the conference that's really going to rival. I mean, is there a team, somebody like Oregon, like USC, if they get to be good again? I mean, I think you bring somebody from the West Coast, and those fans will come, and you're going to sell out the Dome.
Well, certainly. I mean, anytime that you've got an SEC team involved, there's going to be enough local, people to, especially with Atlanta. Atlanta's the kind of the melting pot of SEC fans and graduates. Everybody seems to come to Atlanta to get a job at some point. So, as long as an SEC team is involved, you're going to sell out. Now, if you brought a team in like an Oregon, that would be great. I think they would travel pretty well. Again, as you mentioned, USC. I mean, that would be a great one to have. Problem with the USC right now is they're down and
right. They have all the sanctions and everything.
And you know how California fans are. It's kind of like, they're not going to be that good. Let's not even bother. I mean,
Atlanta, where is that?
Yeah, but they have a hard time selling out their games in California, even when they are great.
Yeah,
so
that's true. But again, and I understand the point with that, and you want to get people to come here and go to hotels and that kind of thing. But as far as selling out the actual game, that thing's going to be sold out.
Absolutely.
It does not matter.
Absolutely. I mean, the Dome is, as much as I hate that it's a dome, it's still a great venue. It's still, within the confines of the dome. So much for tailgating, but
right.
Yeah, it's a great place to go and watch a game. I think that I tell you, I'd love to have someone like a Texas or an Oklahoma.
How about Ohio State last year?
Yeah, last year. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see Ohio State, in a year or two. But
I mean, I think that's what you need to do. I mean, I think the SEC, and I'm a huge ACC. I love ACC. But we got to stop putting ACC teams up against SEC teams because they get whooped. I mean, it's just what happens. I mean, the best of the best from each conference, and it's not going to be pretty. So go somewhere else,
Yeah.
Big Ten always thinks they're great. Bring a Big Ten team in, see what happens. So, might be an ugly game, though.
Yeah, whatever the Big Ten is going to call themselves now that they've got 12. And, like you said, I would – bring in a big name. I mean, even a Penn State, even though they're down, that would still be a marquee matchup just because of what they are.
Yeah, absolutely.
As much as I dislike Notre Dame, that would be a marquee matchup. It would get people interested.
If they can get better. I mean, a big name would be great. I want it to be good football. I love it. Texas would be awesome to bring in here. I just don't know if they would want to do that. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, tough enough schedule. Why would you want to go ahead and add that?
Yeah, exactly. All right, I got to ask you about Gene Chizik. I saw him on Atlanta TV today. I didn't even know he wrote a book, but he did. I think it's called The 10 Great Things About Me or something. I'm not sure. No, that's not actually true. But I don't know what is it about. Do you know anything about this?
First team shot of the day coming. Do they read in Lower Alabama?
I don't know.
I'm just kidding. Of course they read. Anyway,
coloring books. There's a second shot. I'm sorry.
It's just too easy. Line them up. But no, I have a particular kind of I don't want to say loathing or even dislike, but I'm extremely, let's say skeptical of Gene Chizik's coaching abilities.
Okay.
I think that they won a national title based not solely on what they did with one Heisman Trophy winner at quarterback, but I think that so much of what Cam Newton brought to the team was such a big deal that defensively they were a good enough team.
Mm-hmm.
But if you take Cam Newton out of that mix, I don't even think that they're third place in the SEC West last year. I'm with you. I think that Bama, I think that LSU, I think that Arkansas will finish above them in the West.
I don't think they probably are not playing on New Year's Day. I think he made that. I mean, he's an amazing football player. Whatever you think about him personally.
Now you could say that obviously he did what it took to get him there, and I think he made obviously a great hire in his offensive coordinator, whose name is blowing my mind at the moment.
Ted Roof was defense, right?
Yeah, Ted Roof's defense coordinator. Not a solid hire.
Gus Malzahn.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. Malzahn.
The brain's a little mush here. It's we got a little while.
It happens during the summer,
right?
But I think Malzahn is an innovator, somebody who we'll see just how good I guess Malzahn was, because we'll see about what Cam's progression once he gets in the NFL. But I think you can give Malzahn just about any quarterback, and he's going to find the best way to exploit his strengths.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Chizik, I think he deserves a little bit of credit, obviously, for that. But as far as anybody, and I would think probably even Auburn fans, if they were being honest, wouldn't sit here and just, sing his praises to the rooftops.
Yeah, exactly. Not yet. Let's see if he can continue to do it. All right, say they both wrote books and you have to read one of them or you'll be shot. You're reading Gene Chizik's book or Cam Newton's book?
Cam Newton's, I think, it'd be far more interesting.
Absolutely. Way more interesting, right? I wrote that question. I'm going to ask that question. I said, this is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Because Cam, who knows what he would say?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he might actually have something interesting to say. I mean, right off the bat that Chizik's book is going to be full of platitudes and going on about, how much he loves his family and his, coaching and blah, blah, blah. It's just going to be the same old tripe.
All right. In 10 words or less, is Cam Newton going to be a good professional quarterback?
That's a tough call. I think with a little bit of seasoning under his belt, yes.
I think he could be pretty good. I think he, yeah.
I don't think he's going to go in there and light it up immediately, just because no rookie quarterback. I mean, Peyton Manning, look, it lights it up as a rookie. But I think after a couple of years, he might be pretty good.
I agree with you. He's got all the talent in the world. All right, we'll take a break, come back, talk baseball, and wrap this baby up. WDUN Sports Talk on WDUN TV.
At the offices of Dr. Norman Peets, DDS on Green Street in Gainesville, patients have all their general dentistry needs explained. Ask about sedation dentistry. Dr. Peets' team of professionals puts you at ease. Dedicated, experienced, professional. He's Gainesville's family dentist. Dr. Norman Peets, 615 Green Street in Gainesville.
I will not march blindly into the fluorescent light of Monday morning to a job I do not love. I will not go with the flow. I am not a carbon copy. I will visit this website before tomorrow because I refuse to work for the weekend, even if everyone is working for the weekend. Today, I will find a job that I love. Today, I will find my career happiness.
All right, wrapping things up here. WDUN Sports Talk on WDUN TV. YouTube.com. Look for us on there. Just type in WDUN Sports Talk. Also look for Field of Dreams, too, because it's very, very funny. All right, wrapping it up. Talking some baseball because we haven't talked football, but I'm going to tell you something. This has become a little baseball area. We got Atlanta Braves, as of today, 3 games out of first place. Gwinnett Braves tied for first place. So good baseball all the way around. All-Star break's coming up next week. Do you watch the All-Star game as a kind of sort of baseball fan? Do you watch the Home Run Derby?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I always got to watch the All-Star game. The Home Run Derby, unfortunately, I'm not going to say that I don't like the Home Run Derby. The Home Run Derby is fine. I don't like the spectacle that goes around with it and one specific person that is sitting there broadcasting.
Chris Back Berman?
Let's just say that I'm a little sick of the hyperbole and all the other stuff that goes along with him. If they were to put someone decent, I think I'd sit there and watch the whole thing. I may even watch it on mute. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. With it being on Fox and everything, as far as the All-Star game is concerned, drives me crazy. I can't stand it. I mean, I just hate that they went to what they went to and kind of sold out to the man and made that determine the host of the World Series.
Yeah,
I can't stand it.
It's beyond ridiculous, especially when it's an All-Star game in the way that the All-Star game is played these days, where everybody has to play and that sort of thing. If you were playing it the way that they used to play it, back in the I guess even leading up to the 80s, where it really meant something. The starters went for pretty much all 9 innings.
Right.
Then I could kind of understand it, but when you're cycling people so much in and out,
exactly. It's not. Yeah, it just kind of makes my stomach turn. But Atlanta Braves have a big series coming up this weekend against the Philadelphia Phillies. And watch the Braves, by the way, in the All-Star game because you got McCann starting. Jair Jurgens might be the starting pitcher. Yeah. Johnny Venters and Chipper, who really needs to have knee surgery, which we can mention next week. But good luck to them in the All-Star game as well. Good luck to the Atlanta Braves in Philadelphia.
Big series this week. It's funny, I put up on the website yesterday a questionnaire with the Braves catch the Phillies. And before yesterday, everybody's like, no. Today, all of a sudden, it's evened up.
Oh, really?
Yep.
It's evened up? See, everybody's kind of getting the fever about that. So, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. They could do it. They could definitely do it. All right, that's going to do it for us. Scott McIntyre, happy birthday once again. There he is. He's single, and it's his birthday. Email us. We'll let you know where he's going to be. That's going to do it for us. WDUN Sports Talk on WDUN TV. We'll see you next week.